What's going on, guys? And today I've got the best features of the DJI Mic 2. Now in this video, I have got 11 different features that I'm going to talk through, all sorts of exciting things from this unit. This is the box that it came in, and we went through the unboxing on the channel, so definitely check that out to see the whole process of me unboxing it. My first favorite thing about this new system is just the build quality of everything. From the bag itself, which is perfect size, houses everything, to everything that comes inside, and the case itself, the charging case. So in here, I absolutely love that it's all compartmentalized. There's different spots for different things in here. You've got the little windscreens, you've got the camera connection, you've got the USB-A to USB-C. It's all just perfectly packaged in here, and I really do love that. But one of my favorite things, and one of the biggest upgrades here, in my opinion, is this case. Now, this case feels significantly nicer than the original, and the original is still such an amazing case. This is the DJI Mic 1 here. You can see it's got that black aesthetic. It's kind of got like a striped pattern on it. You can see it's a little bit of a fingerprint magnet at times. Pretty easy to clean, but different aesthetic overall. And this is how it comes, right? You just open it up like so, and it kind of magnetically holds on there, but there's no like latching or locking point there. And you can see it's just a little bit smaller as well than the new system. So there's a little bit of a gap here, which makes the new system a little larger. But again, my favorite first feature is just the build quality. The fact that we've got this metal design now. It also can't just be opened. You have to physically push in the latch to release it like so. And you'll see inside, everything just feels a lot more premium. It's got that metal feel to it. You've got completely redesigned microphones that are see-through now, and they look absolutely phenomenal. This guy here, which is the receiver, that feels really great as well. I absolutely love the receiver. You've got a little toggle wheel on it, which I'll get into a little later. But just everything, even that magnetic connection there feels a lot nicer than the original. The latch itself just feels really solid. And overall, just the build quality of the case, the charging case, the bag, the latch, and also that magnetic connection feels so much more premium on the DJI Mic 2. The next thing that I absolutely love is the build quality of the microphones and the receivers and the buttons, right? It just feels completely different here. So the mics themselves look a little bit similar to the original microphones. They've got a similar kind of button layout when we look at it, slightly different. There's a light here, slightly different arrangement of the buttons. The magnetic clips and everything feel and look similar kind of spacing and size. You've then got the linking button and the power button. So they've changed it so the recording button's on this side and not the power button. But you can see a similar kind of design, but this just looks a lot more premium, right? It just looks a lot nicer. It looks like an upgrade. And it also has some really nice features that make it feel like an upgrade, which I'll get into in my later features. So yeah, even the build quality of the microphone, in the sense of like even just the magnetic pucks, like these feel really nice, but they also have a double-sided design, right? They've got like a different connection piece up here where you can connect the windscreens, which I'll get into a little later. The receiver itself feels a lot more premium, has some really nice accenting colors on it. The aesthetics just really pop here. And it says RX for receiver, and then on here it says Mic TX for transmitter. So just really clean aesthetics overall. The buttons feel a lot nicer on this system. I really love the feel of all the buttons and the layout of everything. And even just like I said before, the magnetic pins just feel like they click a little bit better. They just feel more premium, and it just feels like an upgrade. The next big calling card here is the charging case. Now you're getting 18 hours of battery life with this charging case. As I open it up, you can see everything will connect immediately up, and it will show me what charge I've got on all of these different devices here. And on the front here, it will show me the charging indicator. So completely full right now, full of charge. The way you charge it up is just a USB-C on the back, which is included in the case itself. And I find that the 18 hours of battery life is realistic. I can record many videos without having to charge it, even just using the microphone for a long time before I even have to put it into the case. I find it to be really reliable. If you are looking to get yourself the DJI Mic 2, maybe you want a bit of a combination, maybe you want the Pocket 3, which I'm recording on right now up here. Hello. maybe you want the Mic 2 combo together with this whole kit, reach out to sales@d1store.com.au, and that's for all of my Australian viewers, and make sure to mention Dan's Tube and they will help you out with the best deal they can over there. Maybe you can bundle up a few different offers or whatever it is you're looking for. Or if you are an international viewer, make sure to check my links below because I will have a few other links to some other websites to check out the DJI Mic 2. There will be something for you in the description, so check those links. The microphone was actually immediately connecting up to the Pocket 3 because I had it wirelessly connected, so that's why you couldn't see all the indicators here. But now you can see all the indicators here, and they're telling us 14.5 hours and 15 hours on the respective microphones. And the fact that I can just pull this out and it will wirelessly connect to a unit that's connected to it is phenomenal. And that's actually what was happening before. It was automatically connecting up to the Pocket 3. And I do find that, like I said, the magnetic feel of everything is solid. The fact that it connects immediately is another big calling card. And for one of my favorite upgrades from the original Mic 1 is actually the windscreen. So the way that they work now is instead of the screwing design that we've seen on the original Mic 1, it literally just plugs in. So you just put it on top, push it down, and it's plugged in, and it's really solid. It's not coming out. You have to put a bit of force to pull it out. Such a simple design, but so innovative because it saves you a lot of time of fumbling around, but it's in there nice and solid. So connecting the windscreen is, again, one of my favorite new features of the DJI Mic 2. Another nice upgrade here is on the receiver itself, and it is this little navigation wheel here. So previously you'd be swiping and trying to adjust little delicate maneuvers, little delicate movements. So if you go into this one here, receiver gain, for example, you would be dragging and it might be a little bit awkward for you. Now you can just literally use kind of twist like so, rotate, however you want to call it, and it will adjust the settings that you're in. So this I find to be a really nice change. It's also a button, so you can scroll across the different settings. Like you go into, let's say, volume, you click in the button and then you adjust that. I just find that the navigation of that, you press it again to go back, is just so much nicer, right? It's just a very simple interface to just go into different things and go boom, twist it, adjust it, when you're setting it, press the button again, and then you press it again to go back into it. So a really simple interface, but you still have the touchscreen. So I love the addition of the navigation wheel as well as the touchscreen. Another amazing feature is the internal storage on the microphone system. So you get 8 gigabytes of internal storage, and as you can see on here, you're getting 14 hours. It does occasionally say 15 hours, but they're saying 14 hours of recording time internally. I found that when I enabled the 32-bit float, it would go down to about 11.5 hours or so. So the 32-bit float is obviously a higher quality recording, so you're getting a little less recording time. But 15 hours of recording, 14 hours of recording with 8 gigabytes of internal is ample for really anyone, right? For really any situation. 14 hours of recording, dump all that stuff on your computer, and then you can format it again so you back up to 14 hours. So 8 gigabytes is well and truly enough, and that's a really nice feature of the DJI Mic 2. The fact that we get that internal recording, and the fact that even with 32-bit float, we're getting just over 11 hours of internal recording is huge. I have done a full test on the channel, but another one of my favorite features is the range. You're getting 250 meters of range, and it is extremely reliable. So I had these connected up to the Pocket 3, which I'm actually recording on right now, and I tested the range. I got about 100 meters with obstacles in the way and with my back facing to the unit itself. So there were a lot of things in the way, interfering with the actual range and the connection, but perfect ideal scenario with clear line of sight, with nothing in the way. They're saying you get 250 meters of range. I say realistically, you would probably never need that, but in most scenarios, like 50 meters is ample, 100 meters is great. And in terms of the range, I found that it was very reliable in the tests that I put it through, and it seemed to send the signal consistently 100 meters unless I was facing the opposite way. Unless there were a lot of obstacles in the way, then it might drop out a little bit. Never fully dropped out. You could just hear it kind of struggling a little bit, but clear line of sight, you were getting phenomenal range from this unit. But yeah, you should be able to hear me perfectly fine. Like I said, Google Maps said about 100 meters to this point. I was going past a few trees, so we might have some issues with it dropping out. Theoretically, no though. Theoretically, it should be fine. Let's go back now. So having reliable audio on an action camera is great if you have like a head-mounted rig or you have a selfie pole. Being able to have reliable audio wirelessly connected is a huge calling card because it means this is still wireless and waterproof. So someone could have this action camera out in the water doing some scuba diving. You could be on shore, you could be narrating, you could be on a boat talking from the microphone, but it's wirelessly sending it through to the Action 4. So that's huge. And then with the Pocket 3, same thing. That's pretty much what I use. I use the Pocket 3 with the Mic 2, really reliable setup, sounds great, gives you reliable audio on a 3-axis gimbal. So huge calling card here. It works with other devices as well, but the Action 4 and the Pocket 3 are the two standouts right now because it's within that DJI ecosystem. So another one of my favorite features is the low cut and noise cancelling settings. So in the transmitter settings here, you have the option for low cut, and you can either turn that on or off. That is a huge benefit. It just cuts out any sort of low rumbling noises that you might have in a room. So right now I've got lights, I've got my computer, and those sounds can be picked up by microphones, but the low cut basically just cuts out all of those low sounds that aren't relevant for you. You've got transmission gain, you've got a bunch of other settings in here, but the fact that it also does a really great job with the noise cancelling is great. The low cut is the one to go with for a studio setup, and yeah, the fact that it also does a really good job with the noise cancelling, it just does a really great job, right? Like they've got an algorithm that seems to cut out a lot of wind and any sort of unnecessary audio that might come into your shot. The huge calling card though of the DJI Mic 2 is the 32-bit float, and you enable that through the settings. You go into transmission settings or transmitter settings. You go across to 32-bit float recording. Now, once you turn this on, it is ready to go. But the thing that you've got to keep in mind is that you actually need to make sure that you're recording internally to the mic. So what I mean by that is that you actually press the record button here and it's recording to the microphone itself. Because if you just record directly on, you know, like the Pocket 3, for example, and it's not recording internally to this microphone system, then the 32-bit won't be enabled. You actually have to plug this microphone into your computer, transfer the file across, which will be a larger file. It's just a pure audio file, and then that's the 32-bit file. So just keep that in mind. You can enable it here in the settings, but then you have to make sure that you're internally recording to the mic here. And I will show you a test of me trying to peak the audio and just showing you what it sounds like, the difference between the two when you got the 32-bit and when you're just recording directly to a camera like the Osmo Pocket 3. You will definitely hear a difference here, and the 32-bit just gives you a lot more freedom, so you can talk nice and quiet or extremely loud, and the audio isn't going to distort and peak. It's going to still be usable for all of your projects. So what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit quieter here, and we'll just see how the audio goes picking up on this. And then I'm going to start shouting. I can see it's peaking. The audio is peaking. It's peaking. It's peaking. Oh my God, it's peaking. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll show you the difference between the Osmo Pocket 3, the audio that comes from this mic to the Pocket 3, and then the difference between that and the 32-bit float audio that's recorded internally on the DJI Mic 2. And then for my final feature, my final favorite thing about the DJI Mic 2, it is an additional purchase. It is an external purchase here, but it is the official DJI lavalier microphone. It's a really well-designed system. I just love how they've done this because it's a simple design, right? There's nothing too complicated about it. It has a decent length cable here, which is exactly all you need to have it connected onto your person or onto a subject, whatever it may be. But this is one of my favorite pieces here, this little like clipping cog-like mechanism. So you can twist it and lock it into any position that you want for when you clip it on. And then obviously all you have to do is you just plug this in to your microphone like so. I could then have this microphone clipped on to my belt, lower down, and then have this right up here, clipped onto my shirt, collar, whatever it may be. But then obviously I have the option to twist this to make it fit a little bit more snug on me. So really love this. It also twists and has a very fluid feel to it. You know, it just sits perfectly there. And I absolutely love what they've done here. This is a fantastic lavalier microphone, and it complements the DJI Mic 2 system really nicely. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Those are my best features of the DJI Mic 2. It's a phenomenal system, a great upgrade, and well recommend it to people wanting to improve their audio game. So definitely check it out, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.